Welcome to episode number 301 of the Keep Up podcast.
Where this might be my final episode of the Keep Up podcast ever.
What? What are you talking about?
That's what we call a cliffhanger, Brett, so they can
Wow.
they can jump into the episode.
I was hanging on the edge of my cliff.
No, I mean technically every episode could be both of our last episodes because we could die.
That's true. Think about it often.
It would probably be harder if you died because
I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So how do I release this episode?
So when
I can do the video.
If I die suddenly, you're getting a terrible audio quality. And
I'll be like this. I'll turn this up a little bit. Does it need background music? I can't ask Brett.
You're just
so.
gonna get Tim like.
Hello. Oh, it'll just be poopy poppy pee 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 po po.
No. Oh yeah, I have the one without the pop filter. So
Poopy poppy pee 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 po.
oh shoot, I was like, I didn't see you take it off. I was like, why does it sound
Dude,
so
I'm
bad?
sly.
That literally sounded like my nightmare.
You're welcome.
Speaking of welcome to the Keep Up podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
And we talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food, and we are back.
We're back and better than ever.
We've kind of been back for like weeks, I guess, but we're back on a regular schedule. The last thing that came out was the October special. If you missed it, you should go back and watch it or listen to it or whatever.
I still have nightmares.
Yeah, it was scary out there, man.
Brett was way scared. I was a big brave boy.
What's crazy is we're like, I don't know, 100 yards from where we were.
Brett, don't break the illusion.
But we're just, I mean,
we might seriously be in the same place we were, just more north. Like this table where it is right now, it might have been like exactly where we are.
that's possible. Well,
lined up.
I think
No, we're
a
a little bit
bit
over
east,
there.
yeah.
We're almost there.
we're southwest of where we were.
We're Sweest.
But, you know, southwest of the Bermuda Triangle is probably less dangerous than in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. So
I'm just making a case for how scared I was outside.
It was a good episode, though.
It was great, and the leaf aesthetic was great.
Yes.
They were just falling,
They were
descending upon
blown
us.
in our faces. There was a whirlwind.
And now it's Christmas.
It's Christmas time. Everyone's skipping November.
No, you know
It's
what's weird though?
over.
Thanksgiving is so late this year that it's Christmas is only 3 weeks from Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure.
Is Thanksgiving the last week of?
I think so.
Isn't it always the third week?
I want to say it's the last Thursday.
I thought it's always the third Thursday.
I don't think so. I mean, that sounds right, but I think you're wrong.
I don't know enough about Thanksgiving.
Sounds right, but I think you're wrong.
What? Why doesn't the calendar app show holidays?
Well, you probably have the holidays turned off.
I don't know how to turn on holidays.
Well, you got to go to calendars and
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's plus
on the bottom of the page there should be like a calendars.
calendars. Oh, I
Yeah.
see it.
And then you're gonna turn holidays on.
Birthdays, U.S. holidays. How could I not?
Did you have it
my
off?
God. Yeah, dude,
No.
you're right. It's the last. What?
No wonder you've been late to Christmas every year. So wait, go
Yeah,
1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 4 weeks.
dude. What's the 26th? Oh, Hanukkah. Christmas is on a Wednesday this year.
Whack. Great. I get to work before and after Christmas that week.
Oh no, they're not going to make you work Christmas Eve, are they?
I don't know.
Dude.
Maybe it's extra money.
Oh, it's true.
And I'm gonna need some after being out of work for 2.5 months.
Da 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 da.
Wow.
Yes, so we're both recovering from injuries. I
Yep.
think we're getting there.
I think we're getting there.
If I were to my leg, if
Yeah.
I were to equate myself to a Boss HP bar,
Yeah.
I would say I'm roughly 72 HP out of 100.
You don't even need a full healing potion.
No, I think I'm good. I'm healthy.
You don't even need a whole roast.
A
need-
whole or wall chicken.
You need a-
I don't need to break a wall and get a whole turkey chicken dinner.
Wall
Why do they call it
chicken.
chicken? It's clearly turkey.
Is it turkey?
I don't know. Chicken and turkey
It
look
was the
the
big
same.
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
Sitting is much nicer now.
That's good. Yeah, you couldn't
But still
sit.
hurts.
You couldn't sit. I couldn't lift weights or anything really.
Yeah, right, or anything heavy.
I'm getting there. I have a pretty ridiculous bump in my shoulder. It's just my bone. I don't know if you can see it. It's not too pronounced.
This
It's
is
not
Brett's
bad.
personality now. Everybody he meets, he's like, "You want to touch my bum?"
Yeah, ask everyone if they want to touch my collarbone because
Yeah.
it's just sticking out. But yeah, I have an appointment. I have an important appointment. I have a really important appointment.
Dude, that's so amazing.
Yeah, on Monday, and they're gonna tell me if I can work, lift stuff, you know,
Do things.
do all the things.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. But we're recovering, and it's good. It's been a weird year.
It's been, the last 2 months in particular have been all over the place.
Real weird.
We've had injuries. We've had things going on. We've had doctors.
Yeah, injuries, things going on, and doctors.
Very important.
It's a lot to get through.
But I will say that time off, I think, has really helped us build what we want to do here.
Yeah, I think that's true. Very excited.
You know, and you guys have probably already seen the bumpers, but we do have a brand new merch store.
Brand new merch store.
That has been released
Yep.
to the world.
It's public.
A bunch of new merch, including T-shirts, sweatshirts, hat,
Yep.
a beanie, fanny pack.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild what's on the shop.
I'm
so.
really excited about it. I'm stoked with how the merch came out. We've sampled almost all of it, I think, and it all prints great, and the quality's good, and we're stoked. And check the description of whether you're listening or watching. You can click the link and get yourself some sweet merch. And if you get merch, please take a photograph and tag us in a story or
share
something.
it.
We would love to see it and give you props for looking how good you look.
Because you look good.
You look good. You're looking good. You are looking nice. Wow.
Oh, you're looking real fine.
Uh-oh.
All right, sorry. The darkness seeped in a little bit.
Wow. I think it
But
seeped
let's get away from the darkness.
Yes.
And instead go to some, I guess it's still dark news. Brett, can we go to the bulletin board?
You sure that's where you want to go?
I think that's where we need to go.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
We can go wherever you want.
Where else do we go?
I don't know. Maybe there's a different place you want to go.
No. I'll satisfy because you made a whole sound effect for it. We don't use it too often. It is news, even though it may be a little bit technology related.
Do you want to go to technology?
Nope. Let's go to the bulletin board.
Well, all right. What's on the bulletin board? For context, Tim put this in our technology section of our note. And
Yes.
I think there's a running theme where everything Tim puts in technology is just about like Netflix. It's about movies.
It's about
There have been a couple app or I don't know,
technology related
machine related things.
Yeah.
This one, I reread what you wrote and I was like, this might be technology.
The bulletin board is more just like general news because I will be talking about this in like a news format.
So this is because I was just giving you a hard time when
Yeah.
we were texting. I was like, I say we cover this. It's definitely for the bulletin board, but we can put it in technology if you want. But I was just giving you a hard time.
No, I appreciate it because we underutilize certain parts of this lovely podcast we have.
Yeah.
So let's bring back the bulletin board.
Bring it back. Here we are.
All right, here we go.
What do you got?
Hold on. Ace reporter Tim and Master Detective Tim reporting on the scene.
Like I gave two titles, but they were both you. I thought I was getting one.
No,
You're like Ace Reporter Tim.
you're the weather guy.
Awesome other guy. Also Tim.
I have done the detective work. I have done the research. I have written articles. I have not done any of this for what I'm about to talk about. But
I can't wait.
let me tell you, folks,
Yeah.
over on the platform Netflix.
Heard of it, watched it this morning.
That's good. But maybe after this, you won't.
Ooh.
Find out at 9. We have a while to wait. But I'll tell
9
you.
o'clock
early it
reporter, Tim.
was. Master Detective, Ace Photographer, Mr. Dude, Tim.
Edited by Tim.
This whole podcast. Anyways, Netflix years ago introduced this new program of interactive movies. They were trying to really get into the game industry, but they started with these like interactive movies. So Bandersnatch was a very popular
That's like
one.
the only one that comes to mind.
Yeah, so there's 24 different movies if you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Me neither. I had no idea. Movies and like TV shows, but the TV shows were like specials based on shows. We'll talk about those in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, they tried really hard to like push this gaming / interactive initiative, and certain things popped off. But it was really Bandersnatch was the only one that like
That was
people
a big
played.
one, yeah.
The rest were kind of more towards geared kids or just in general like nobody paid attention to.
I did see some kids ones. I remember that.
Yeah, there's some for like kids shows and things like that. I never really paid attention to them, to be honest. But Bandersnatch was amazing. I played that for like 10 hours.
Yeah,
because there's so many endings and it's a crazy experience. Recently, the creator of a series called Battle Kitty, which is another one of those interactive movies, posted to a story that Netflix was essentially removing his movie from the platform. December 1st, he was removing his movie.
Merry Christmas.
Seriously, I can't even imagine making like some fantastic show or movie and being told, because at the time, like this is not, it doesn't have a DVD or movie release anywhere. You can't purchase it anywhere. And because of the interactive format, even the route of pirating, if that's what you do, can't really be done because you can't interact. Yeah. Like you need the interface that Netflix has.
Right, you need the interface.
So this will like truly be lost. So being told that is crazy because you're like, oh my God, now everyone wants to go watch it. However, what it did spawn was a ton of news outlets asking Netflix like, what does this mean? What's going on? So not only are they removing Battle Kitty, they're removing all of their interactive movies. All 24 of them will be gone December 1st.
Wow.
They confirmed it. This was it was on The Verge and Kotaku and a bunch of different articles talking about it, which is crazy.
Yeah. Are they just trying to? Is it like a failed experiment kind of thing? They're like, all right, we don't do this anymore.
I guess so, but like I don't know what benefit they have removing it, because does it cost money to have these like interactive things?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I can't figure it out because they're already created. They're already available on the platform.
They're Netflix exclusive.
Yes, Netflix exclusive.
Which sounds like a plus for them.
Right, like this is another reason people can get on this platform, because they could play these movies.
Unless it's a PR move and they're like trying to get everyone to go watch it.
And maybe like this is it. So they're this article is November 4th, so 2 days ago from The Verge.
Okay.
4 movies will be preserved, will be saved. Not preserved in the sense of like people will save them, but Netflix is going to keep them on the platform.
Okay.
The other 20 are still going to be removed as of right
that's
now.
A lot.
So just a couple that they're throwing out here. There was a Carmen Sandiego interactive game. There's Boss Baby. There was a Puss in Boots one, but that one got removed from the platform years ago.
Really?
That one's gone. So someone did preserve it. So what the push right now is like, okay, how do you preserve this if you have the choices? You can't, like, people won't be able to experience the way it was meant to be experienced.
Right.
But people are now just recording all of the different paths and trying to edit it into one full movie. But because people have less than a month to do it, it's a mad dash to get all of these things and figuring out the correct paths, because who knows how many hours of footage is out there for movies. I know Bandersnatch is really big, but some of these it might be, like 30-minute shows and you get like a 15-minute experience when you do it and then picking all the paths. So I don't know like the story of all these, but...
Wasn't there a Minecraft one?
So that was a video game.
It was.
And then, that one's weird because that game's like also kind of removed. It was a Telltale game and Netflix bought it, so then you could play it on that, but you could also play it on consoles.
Yeah,
but that's long gone. That's I don't even know if there's physical copies for that. That's a real mess. But
that's weird.
So that was also on there. But I'm trying to find the 4 movies. I had it listed here
that are going to be left on there.
That are going to be left on there.
I mean, Bandersnatch has to stay on there, right?
Yes,
because is Black Mirror Netflix?
Yep, that's a Netflix exclusive. But yeah, so if you just look it up, there are a lot of links to find these 24 interactive movies. So you can still go watch them as of right now. So there's one called Cat Burglar. Again, Battle Kitty is supposed to be really good. There is a Jurassic World one that is based off the show. There's a Captain Underpants. There's a ton of... who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Who's in the wild, because it's called You versus Wild. You know that guy who's always out and like doing some Bear Grylls?
Yeah.
That's what I think this one is.
Man versus
Man versus Food. Man versus Wild. Maybe.
No, was that a thing?
I
feel like that. Wait, Man versus Wild?
With Bear Grylls? I don't know the name of the Bear Grylls thing. All of these are called You versus Wild, so. But there's a couple of those. Yeah, I'm just looking through. Escape the Undertaker. The Wrestler.
What?
So these are all neat. I mean, not all of them are like anything like super special, but just the fact that all of these, most of them are going to be unavailable to to witness, to enjoy, especially in the original way.
Right. It's in the conversation of like physical versus digital media. Like
Yes.
when you see something like this go away and you're like, all right, well that's just gone now. I don't get to experience that ever.
I found the list. Black Mirror, Bandersnatch. These are 4 that are going to remain. Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt. Kimmy versus the Reverend.
I did not know that existed. That's funny.
Nope. Ranveer versus Wild with Bear Grylls, and You versus Wild. Which,
all right,
it's weird that those are the ones that are being kept, but
my biggest question is like the benefit to getting rid of them / the benefit of keeping the ones they're keeping. Like, is it taking up space?
right, because there are. What makes those the ones worth keeping? I guess because they're the originals. I think everything else is something that is like might be owned by other companies or whatever.
Oh, I guess that could be.
I'm pulling it up again because you have like a Johnny Test one. You have Carmen Sandiego, Boss Baby. These are all DreamWorks and stuff. Last Kids on Earth.
Oh,
Happy Apocalypse to You. We Lost Our Human. I don't know what that was.
I like
Spirit.
Last Kids on Earth.
Yeah, so you should watch that. Oh, there's a Barbie one. Barbie Epic Road Trip.
What?
So, again, a lot of these are geared towards kids, but just the fact that media gets lost because Netflix decides to remove it. And that is my warning to you guys, is be careful with these streaming services because they will remove things and you might not even know.
That's it.
Netflix has released Blu-rays and DVDs of some of their more popular shows. They did it for Black Mirror. They did it for Arcane. Like, they're really popular stuff. Yeah, Stranger Things. So there is a possibility that some of these will come to DVD or Blu-ray because that does have the interactive menu option.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
So it is a possibility. But yeah, huge hit to just media, just lost media in general.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah, so, and you might be right about the, like, people are going to go and try to sign up to Netflix to watch these because they hear it's like, they're being removed, I got to see them.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, especially because it's Netflix exclusive. You'd almost think, like, oh, this is part of our, like, legacy, like we did these interactive things that no one else was really doing. But those will just be gone now. I don't know.
I can't see a reason why to do it other than licensing expiring. I said that weird, but licenses expiring. That's what I tried to say.
I mean, technically.
Right? I guess that works too.
Are you going to go watch any of them?
Yes. And in fact, I intend to do some sort of content based around it. Like,
oh, cool.
Like, I don't know entirely if I'm going to do like a YouTube video or just TikToks or something. And we can do something with it too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because there were a couple on there that you listed that I think would be fun.
Yeah, there's definitely some that are like not my cup of tea, but I wouldn't mind going through them just because they're fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I should count them as a movie complete or a game complete.
Ooh, what do they call it?
Interactive movies. I think they actually just call them interactives.
Oh, come on.
Interactive specials.
Bro. Well, specials, like, they're mostly TV shows.
Yeah, they're all, I think everything's a TV show.
Man, don't go out here creating different medias. I got enough. I have enough.
Yep. And Netflix has since stopped making interactive stuff. I think it was in like 2021 or something.
That is pretty wild.
Because, yeah, it just didn't take off. And they still have the gaming department.
Yes.
But I don't. Do you ever use that on the app?
I see it on my phone because I watch stuff on my phone sometimes, and I have never ignored anything harder than the game section on Netflix. I just have no need for it.
I tried it once because they had some games that like you have to pay for in the App Store otherwise, like a Ninja Turtles game and stuff like that. And so what it does is like you go click the game and it downloads it to your phone, and then when you want to play it, you just have to go through Netflix and say play
Which
this.
Is pretty cool.
It is cool because it had like Hades. They had some really cool games on there, but I think it's super underutilized. People just don't.
Totally. I ignore it all the time because I'm on there to watch a movie. So I'm never like switching to game mode. You know what I mean?
It's like going to your Xbox and like making lunch in it. It's like, I'm here to make lunch. I'm going to turn on my Xbox. It makes no sense, but.
Yeah, it does kind of feel that way.
It's so just be aware. Things you may be watching will disappear, even to the point of if you're a pirate out there and you're watching these not legally. It seems like these are going to be tough to actually watch. So
even for you, pirates.
Yar. That's the hook.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Ace reporter Tim on the scene.
Also,
master detective.
Master pirate.
Yar.
Hooked hand pirate.
What'd my hair do? There we go.
What'd the dog do?
What the dog doing?
Well,
Yeah, that's a bulletin board.
that was a bulletin. I'm curious if you guys have watched any. Let us know if there's any we should catch before we say goodbye to them forever.
December 1st.
Maybe we'll watch a few and be like, you should probably get rid of these.
Maybe it was time to go. Bandersnatch seriously was such a cool experience.
So good. It was very cool. I had never even watched a Black Mirror.
Yeah, that's what's cool about Black Mirror is you can just watch any episode.
Yeah, that is what's cool about it.
That is what's cool about it. Where are we going next, brother?
You tell me, dude.
Yo, I'm guiding the train.
You're kind of running the show today.
I know. Brett sent me notes, and he was like, hey, we should talk about all this stuff. It's literally the only my stuff.
I mean, it's stuff that I've seen.
Yeah.
I wanted to come a little bit prepared, but we got some more reviews for you guys today.
Got some things. So let's go into movies.
Okay.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
Dude, I've watched a lot of movies. I actually, let me check my list. I was trying to see if this year, the most movies I ever watched was 2020, because obviously. I think I might beat my movie viewing.
I have been going pretty crazy the last month.
Yeah?
Just watching movies and shows. I've been doing a lot of shows recently. I don't think I beat previous years, but I'd have to see.
I think I'm at 132 movies this year.
That's so many. Are TV shows in a separate list, or do you put them with
in a separate list?
I put them all together.
I have finished.
As long as my eyes watched it counts.
I have finished. Yeah, I think that's fair. You could have just a watch list. I keep mine separate because I mean these are full seasons we're talking about.
That's how I separate it as seasons. Like I'll do like whatever blah 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 season 1, season 2.
That's what I have. Yeah, I've watched 10 seasons of shows. 130. I have 2 more to add. And then we're going to add one later.
Yeah.
So I'll be at 133 movies.
Solid.
19 games, 7 books.
Dude, are you like a nerd or something?
Dude, such a nerd.
Such a nerd.
Dude, Control should count as 80 games. But anyways.
And a movie.
So, yeah, we're in, where'd you bring us movies? What are we talking about, Chumothy?
Well, I had the movie pulled up and then it disappeared.
I had the movie pulled up and then it disappeared.
Shut up. Oh. So you gave me this movie that we're about to talk about. Brett,
what?
You hyped it up. You're like, dude, this is unlike any zombie movie you've seen before. It's crazy. It's life-changing. Dude, this movie sucks. You're watching The Keep Up on YouTube.
Man, it sure has been an excellent video so far.
I agree. I think I'd even subscribe, and maybe even leave a comment.
Wow, what wonderful suggestions of things you could do while or after watching this video.
You can also visit our merch store where you get some Keep Up merch.
And back to the show. Sucks?
It sucks.
You think this movie sucks?
It sucks. Okay. Maybe not sucks, but it's a movie.
This is crazy.
It's a movie that is...
I'm going to watch it tonight.
It would have been good in the year it came... It's not even good in the year it came out, but it would have been more entertaining because I've seen it all. It doesn't do anything that I've never seen before.
This movie does not suck.
Sucks.
That's crazy.
So the movie we're talking about is called The Horde.
Horde.
La Horde, as the original title states.
Yeah.
Because it is a foreign film. I believe it's French.
It's French,
It's French. So this is an independent film. Came out in 2009. And boy, does it feel like it's an independent film from 2009.
Dude, okay. I need to watch it again because it's not fresh right now.
Yes.
But I watched this movie. I hunted down a copy because I needed a physical copy. And I will say, I don't think you're wrong that it doesn't do anything that other zombie movies do. It doesn't do anything.
At the time...
I'm sorry. It doesn't do anything that other zombie movies don't do.
Right.
But I feel like it does it all great.
No, I feel like...
No.
Watching it, the characters make really dumb... So before we talk about anything, let me give you what the IMDb description is.
Let's hear it.
An end-of-the-world battle between gangsters, cops, and zombies. What a ridiculous way to describe it.
Already so cool.
It's a ridiculous... No, I'm done.
It's a ridiculous concept.
We can't bring it back.
No, sorry.
But, dude, what a stupid description. But that's
awesome. It's literally what's cool about it. In the beginning is it's already not just like every other zombie movie. There's another altercation going on.
Dude, it's like a 5-year-old was like, hey, let me...
5-year-olds have the best ideas.
The director's like, hey, let's ask my son what kind of movie we should make. So the gangsters are fighting the cops. And then zombies show up.
That sounds awesome.
Dude, it's so
Enemy of my
stupid.
enemy is my enemy.
Yeah, that is what this movie's all about. No one can be trusted.
Wait, enemy of my enemy.
Is my friend is usually the term, but
in this one,
they're all enemies.
enemy of my... Oh, no. Yeah, enemy of my enemy. But I was thinking the gangster. Anyways,
Right.
It's a cool concept. That's what I loved about it, is it starts off and, like, it's so dark and, like, and intense, and there's no zombies yet.
There's no zombies. It's true. A lot of some zombie movies start off with, I guess, I went to 100 different thoughts there, but
You did. I heard it. It's all right. Remember that whole thing when I said the enemy of my enemy is my enemy? That was a trip.
That was. I mean, it makes sense when there's 3 of them. But yeah, this it truly, zombies don't show up till 20, 25 minutes.
That's
into
what
the
I
movie.
loved about it, but I felt like the movie was already good until then. Because the cops versus
The gangsters
thing, I was like in already. And I'm like, man, the zombies aren't even here yet. And I felt like the action was cool. The lighting was dim and ominous. And it
needed better lighting. It looked gross and grainy. I really did not enjoy a single character in that movie. Nobody was like redeemable, and like the characters you follow, they're all just out to get each other. No one can be trusted, which I get.
It's intense.
It makes it intense, right? Because you're like, okay, is this guy going to die? How about this person? It's like, can you trust them? Oh, they got bit, but they're not going to tell people. It just goes through all the motions that you see in a normal zombie movie, that it doesn't do anything fresh. So for me, I'm already like, okay. The special effects were fine. You could tell it's a lower budget, in my opinion.
That I don't remember.
I felt like the zombies were cool and there was some cool fights and stuff. But yeah, everyone's just like... Nobody's smart in this movie. There is one guy who like completely understands they're zombies and is like ready to go, and he's awesome. He's like an ex-military guy. He's a cool character. I really like him. He's nuts
Chris
though.
Redfield.
Yeah, I don't like his policies. Not to reference anything here.
Whoa,
but
dude,
he
relax.
gets very controversial. But I don't like him for that reason. Though.
I don't remember.
You'll see what he says later. But he's a freak. They're all freaks. But yeah, this movie just like it's just weird. I didn't love it. I expected it to kind of blow me away, and maybe that was, partially due to Brett here telling me like, hey, this movie's gonna blow your socks off. But what I got is a 5 out of 10 zombie movie. Wow. The action was fine. The characters, again, didn't like them. The story was just like, it's a little bit Judge Dreddy, where they're trying. That's a weird way to say that.
Judge Dreddy.
Judge Dredd.
It's like Judge Judy.
Where it takes place in this like apartment complex.
Imagine,
Judge Dredd.
imagine like a reality court show, but it's just Judge Dredd like in the robe.
And instead of like saying like sentencing them to jail or whatever, he just blows them up. Judge, jury, and executioner.
Small claims court. It's like a $50 fine.
It's like you took this guy's dog. You now have to die.
Judge Dreddy.
Oh, I want to watch that.
I'd watch it.
But the Horde, I'm going to say, is a sleeper.
Wow.
I
Not
think-
even? Okay.
And it's not
That's
even
crazy.
because it's like it's so middle of the road, but it's just one of those movies that like any other zombie movie will upstage it.
Really?
I just found there was nothing of value that I haven't seen before. I didn't like enjoy the ride. I don't know. It just wasn't even. There's like, no, it's a spoiler, so I can't say. But there's just some stupid decisions the characters make, and I'm like, why am I watching this?
So I definitely need to rewatch it ASAP. But I remember, it's not like this is the first zombie movie I ever saw or anything, but I remember watching it and just feeling like the attitude of it was so like dark and gritty and overbearing, and there are a lot of very unlikable characters, so it's not necessarily like a fun watch. But I felt like the action and everything it just felt like it was such a unique zombie experience to me, and the world was just really overbearing, and that felt like a positive to me. I still say it's a keeper, but I'll have to report back.
Rewatch it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine rewatching it and feeling the way you feel, because I just feel like you're so wrong. But you guys got to report back. Check it out if you're a zombie fan, if you're a horror fan.
I don't know where people can find it. It's because it's independent. So the movie itself was distributed by IFC, I believe.
Yeah,
and so
I saw it on Netflix. Like, I mean, dude, we're talking
I'll
about.
check. Actually, I have it right here. Oh yeah, it's on things. Roku, Plex. You can rent it on Prime, but
I probably saw it 15 years ago.
yeah. Well, that math does line up, I think. It has a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Not awful.
Not great. So yeah, the Horde. Sleeper.
Tim says sleeper.
You got
All
better
right.
movies to watch.
This feels unfair because I'm saying it's a keeper, but you have to watch it in order to decide for yourself.
It's one of those movies that you could love, you could hate. I just didn't enjoy it.
All right.
So thank you for wasting my
Thank
time.
you for
Brett.
being. Give me my movie back. Did I take it?
Yeah, I hope so.
Good. You don't deserve to have it in your possession.
Want it.
Look up if it's worth anything. I decided to cut up the insert the other day.
That's the best way. Hold on, I'm going to look it up right now. And if you guys don't know what Brett's referring to,
Oh, that was on Cricket City.
that was on Cricket City. He forgot that we're in a different podcast.
That's my
now.
bad. That's my bad. Yeah.
The Horde.
I'll tell you real quick. I cut the sleeves off of some shirts and found out recently that they were vintage, and I didn't know when I first. I kind of feel like I should tell the whole story again, but I won't do that.
Well, long story short, Brett destroyed a bunch of vintage shirts.
I
Like a
didn't
fool.
destroy them.
$20. $20 for the Horde new DVD. You can also get the soundtrack
Ooh.
for $6.
I didn't destroy the shirts.
He burned them to
I cut the
on a
sleeves off.
stake.
No, I customized them, and they look sick, and I look sick in them, and nobody has these shirts.
You know, being my brother, Brett, I do have to like you. I have to. I have to. We have
You
to.
don't. That's not true.
I guess I don't have to, but you know, society dictates that you should like your family.
Being my brother, I do have to like you. But go on.
But
Carry on.
one of your traits that makes me upset is cutting up your shirts. It is
Any of them?
any of them.
Really?
You did it to the Power Rangers shirt.
I did.
Dude, it breaks my heart because these things should be kept as intent
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
as
that.
a collector because
Yeah.
in my heart you had to keep things as they are. Granted, I did crack Chaos Legion in half.
Yeah, you've physically damaged, obliterated
I did.
video games.
Which is not many people do in there.
my shirts are still wearable. They're just customized.
It's true. Well, mine's a trophy to the worst thing. I had to play that again, by the way.
Why?
I was doing a charity stream.
What?
And if we hit the goal, I'd play it. And we
Like how much of it?
well, I said that I would do a stream. I didn't specify if I was going to beat it, but I probably will try to beat it again. I think with knowledge.
Wait, you haven't done it yet?
I have beaten it before years ago.
No, I know, but you haven't played
have.
it. Dude, okay. If you guys don't know, Tim is talking about one of the hardest. It's a cool game for like 20 minutes.
That's true.
And then it becomes the worst, the most like weirdly addicting and awful game at the same time. Like you can't stop playing it because you're like, I know I can do this, but it is just punishing.
It's broken because you have to play it a certain way and the game doesn't tell you because there's basically a bunch of these little guys you can level up. And if you don't level up the right guys, when you get to a certain stage, it's near impossible.
Yeah.
So you have to run through that stage again and again, gaining XP. But when you die, you only get half your XP. So now your time is doubled
Yes.
gaining that XP to level up that guy. It's a nightmare. So that's where I was. Game took me, I played it over years of grinding. I would play like, once every 2 months, I'd grind for 5 hours and be like, that's it. I'm going to die.
And isn't it my fault that you played it?
Yeah, I never even knew the game existed. And Brett was like, dude, this is like Devil May Cry on crack. It's so good. So I bought it. Again, another recommendation by Brett that has caused me pain. So eventually I just sat down. I think it was during the summer, years ago again.
Yeah.
This was like 2 years ago.
It's fun at first, dude. I'm telling you.
Dude, so I sat down and finally beat it. And when I beat it, I took it out of my PlayStation and cracked it in half.
Cracked it in
Yeah,
half.
totally.
Listen, all I did
Mm-hmm.
was grunge up a couple of my shirts. I cut the sleeves off this one here. Look how cool I look, bro.
Dude.
Act like I couldn't bully you for your lunch money.
I gotta say, the sleeve, the tattoo sleeve really adds to
Oh,
it.
that helps? Okay,
That
yeah.
that makes it a little bit better, but it does break my heart. Anytime I see a shirt and it's just like snip, snip, snip. Dude, look, I got stuff on the sleeve here. It's Sonic and
Yeah, don't cut that. I don't
what
cut
I'm saying.
sleeves that have stuff on them. Like if it has writing or anything.
got anything here,
and it depends on the style of the shirt. Like the Power Rangers one you're talking about, it's very, very oversized. So I like the way that looks with the sleeveless. I personally like that. But then I have some that, maybe I shouldn't have cut the sleeves off.
yeah, he's made some decisions. So yeah, you got Spider-Man ones that are vintage, and it hurts my heart.
Yeah, I guess I can abridge it real quick. Found a bag of Spider-Man shirts. I did as a shirt collector. It's like the one thing that I'm like.
I was just choked on my drink.
Why did it sound like that?
As I was drinking it, I smacked it and like shoved it in my mouth. Oh my
The
god.
sound in my headphones, like that hitting the mic, and then looking over and seeing you like,
I'm just like,
"Ah!"
Let me see if I can get an actual trick this time.
Yeah, we'll wait. Feel better now. That looked like it went a little smoother.
Dude, my throat hurts now. What happened? I choked
funny,
myself.
dude.
I must
That's
have been like,
That's so funny.
Anyways.
I didn't even tell you the extended version of which he'll be listening, so I don't even know if I should tell it.
yeah, you.
I found this bag of shirts, right?
We did try to tell the story for like 10
Which
minutes.
sounds weird, but I work a job where you you find
Yeah,
stuff.
you get
So
shirts.
whatever. It's essentially call it a thrift find, and it was like all Spider-Man shirts. I collect shirts. It's silly, but I didn't check the date on any of them, and I was like, I'll probably wear these as gym shirts. It's crazy that I didn't check the date. I know a lot about shirts and like vintage like art and dating on shirts and certain brands, whatever. Months later, we're talking months later, for some reason, they popped into my head, and I was like, oh, I wonder if those are, I never checked the date on those. And I look, and sure enough, they're all, with the exception of like two of them, like decades vintage, like early 90s, 1990 to 1994. And I had already cut the sleeves off of four of them, I think, because Jim's so mad at me because I was like, I'll probably wear these as gym shirts or something. And I just don't know why it didn't click. I think it's because some of them didn't fit me great right away. And some of them I had even gotten rid of. If I remember correctly, they were like youth sizes, like kid shirts.
Which that one I don't blame you for getting rid of because if it doesn't fit, it's like, why keep them?
Thank you,
That's
Tim.
fair. That's fair.
But I could check dates, sell them. I have friends who...
And you do know about shirts.
I know.
and
That's the
things.
thing that kills me. I don't know why I wasn't in that mind. Maybe it's because I was working and I was just trying to get done with the stop. But I was like, oh, I'll go through these shirts later. So whatever, I checked and I cut the sleeves off. And it does bother me that I didn't check first because since they are as old as they are, I probably would have just kept them complete. Because when are you ever going to find that? But I still have the shirts. I like the cutoff look, so I'll still wear them.
That's the thing. It's still your shirt, so you can do whatever you want with them. It breaks my heart.
And now I know that you hate me for it. I didn't know that.
I'm just saying, sometimes people don't like certain qualities of people they have to interact with, and that one is just a little bit lower on my trait.
You want to
chart.
hear one that's maybe worse? I'll
let's
say
hear
it because I know my friend Nick is probably listening and he's gonna make fun of me. Our friend Nick, you know Nick.
Oh, I know Nick.
Massive Spider-Man fan.
Did you tell him about this?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry.
He's like,
This is your friend.
No, this makes it worse. This is so embarrassing. It's so bad. So when I found the shirts, I didn't text him or anything. I didn't think to because I was just like, oh, these are cool shirts. I was just thinking I keep them because I collect shirts. And but some of the ones that were way too small or whatever, I probably got rid of. Nick is significantly smaller than me. I don't know if they would have fit him. I don't even remember what there was. So while I'm talking to him, I'm like, I said something like, maybe I could still, because I knew he would appreciate how ridiculous this situation was. He also comforted me a little bit with a story about someone else who spent way too much money. Oh, someone who traded, I don't know if you know this story, someone who traded Bitcoin for a pizza.
No.
Way before it was worth anything.
No.
It ended up being $1 million pizza. Some crazy number.
Yeah, because Bitcoin right now, I just saw the other day, is up to $76,000 per coin.
Yeah, this dude traded I forget. I actually have the text from Nick. Maybe I'll read it in a minute.
It could be worth more now. I don't even know.
But it was crazy. He traded some so early on when it was thought to be worthless for a Papa John's pizza. That's what we were laughing about. We were cracking up. So he tells me this story after I tell him the story about the Spider-Man stuff. And he's like, hey, at least it wasn't a $23 million mistake or whatever.
Jesus.
So he made me feel better. And then while we were talking, I was like, hey, maybe I could still part with one of these shirts. I can't believe I never called you about it, whatever. And so I sent him some pictures of the shirts so he could see them. And he was like, yeah, if you're willing to part with one. And I was looking through and I was like, oh, I wonder if he would like this one. I sent him a picture of it. And it was kind of subconscious, but I think I sent him the picture of the only one that I was willing to let go. And he was like, man, that's the only one I don't like. And I was like, well, which ones do you like? He immediately lists my favorite ones. And we were laughing about it because we have such similar tastes and we're so often finish each other's sentences kind of stuff like you and I do sometimes. And he's like, as I was sending that text, I knew the one you sent me was probably the only one you didn't like. And I was like, bro, I feel so bad, but I'm looking at these and I'm like,
I don't want to get rid of any of them.
I'm like, there's one I might actually try to sell. The rest of them, like, I don't know if I can part with these. And I felt so bad, dude. All night, the next day, I texted him a follow-up and I was like, bro, I am so sorry. I feel like such a jerk for like, whoa, what is this dog doing in here?
There's Paddington coming in. Sure. Hello, Paddington.
This dog interrupted my story, bro.
I don't know if you can see him on camera.
I hope so. He's so goofy
He
looking.
is a big
This
goofball.
Muppet dog. Just yawning on camera. Unbelievable.
What the heck?
So anyways, that's the story. And I feel like that characteristic is even worse because I was like, hey, you want to, you know what? Never mind.
I don't know why
keep
you
going.
offered them in the first place.
It was just a moment of like, it felt like,
You felt like you guys had a connection, and you're
No,
like,
I
I got to send this guy
I think it was just like,
something.
how did I not hit him up, And then I was like, well, maybe I could let one go. I was seriously like, oh, yeah, And then I was looking at him. I was like, I can't let these go. I'm so sorry.
Dude, I wouldn't offer them in the first place. I'm not crazy like you, Brett. That's all I can say.
Nick, I'm sorry, dude. But anyways, yeah, that was that whole saga. How did we get into that?
I don't know. It's the hot topic right now.
We were talking about Horde.
Horde.
The Horde.
The Horde. I know.
Oh, okay.
We finished with the Horde, though.
I know, but then now there's dogs in here. Anyways, what else we got?
I think I'm good to go to video games.
Video games.
Video games.
Let's do it.
Video games.
Dude, I'm excited about. Wait, are we transitioning into something that's transitionable into from what we were just talking about?
The Horde, Spider-Man. Yeah, we can. So speaking of Spider-Man, there was a game that came out. Oh, I gotta bring up I have an article pulled up.
Have you never played this game?
I played it a couple of times.
Okay.
I've never beaten it before. So that's why I put it on our list, because I officially beat it. And this was like 4 months ago now. So it's, not as fresh.
It's
but
fresh.
It's fresh.
Not as fresh.
Not as fresh, but still fresh in our hearts. Wait, it took me to a different article. No, please.
While you're panicking, I
Yes.
will say this might also be slightly related to the Horde because this is a game that I have incredibly fond memories of.
So you've played it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I played the hell out of this game.
You're like, this is the game.
But what's funny is I recently watched a video that was, I want to say it was Game Ranks, and it was like something about like superhero games that didn't really work.
Yes.
And this was on the list, and I was like, I remember loving this game.
Yeah, so the game we're talking about is Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects.
Yeah.
And this game came out, and it was really cool.
It was very cool.
Because it is like a darker, gritty Marvel fighting game. And you get a lot more like Defenders than you do like Avengers, but you do get Spider-Man, Wolverine, you get a lot of these characters, but you get Daredevil, you get Elektra. Like they kind of do what was kind of popular at the time, because I believe this came out in 2006.
It felt like a unique roster.
2005.
Oh, wow.
2005.
And I think cool is the right word. Not cool as just like, a general vagary about something. It felt like cool.
Yeah,
it felt
it
felt like Fleer Marvel cards in the 90s and like Cyclops aviators cool.
Yeah, it's like it's a little edgy. It's a little like
Right.
It's for the hot topic crowd, if you will.
yeah. Everybody.
Because at this point, Marvel was kind of all over the place. They were doing the Daredevil and Elektra movies, Blade.
yeah.
Like we didn't have MCU 2 years before that.
Wow.
So it was.
Imagine a time before the MCU.
It's weird when you think about it, but yeah, Marvel was prominent, but in a different way. 'Cause you had Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, all these things. So yeah, I played this game on the GameCube, I think originally.
Yep.
When it came out. So 2005, I was 10.
Little baby Tim.
Which I remember distinctly renting it. I don't know if we've ever owned it, but rented it from Blockbuster or maybe Movie Scene or Movie Gallery or whatever.
Wow, movie scene.
I know.
That would be my guess.
That's a throwback right
movie
there.
Scene, yeah.
But yeah, this game was so it's a fighting game in which in this world, many of the classic Marvel characters you know and love die. They get murdered by these creatures /humans aliens called the Imperfects.
Yeah.
In which it's just just these weird creatures that show up and start killing everybody. So you are playing as various different characters, figuring out what's going on. You'll start as the Thing in the city, and a bunch of explosions are happening, and you see these aliens, so you go and fight them. And then you play as Daredevil, and he's like, what's going on? So you're like kind of piecing all these stories together.
Yeah.
What's unique about this game, at least as far as the story goes, is you can choose, you only have 4 slots of characters you can play as. And then the Imperfects start showing up, and you can play as them too. And you have to choose which Marvel characters you kill to make a slot for the new character to go in. So as you're going through the campaign, you're like, I don't want to play as the Thing anymore. So you kill him, and a new character will go in that slot. And you beat them up as the Imperfects. So it was really cool. That's the campaign, at least. It was really fun to kind of pick and choose who like survives in the story. It ultimately doesn't have an impact at all on any of it because the characters will come back if it's part of the story anyway. So it doesn't matter, but it is fun, at least conceptually.
It's a cool mechanic.
Yes. This game bombed terribly.
It did. I remember that.
No one played it. Marvel and this was EA. EA and Marvel had a huge deal where EA would create a bunch of Marvel games. This game failed so bad that Marvel cut the deal. EA only had Marvel for 2 years, and because
it was just this game.
Just this game. Yep.
Not to mention, I don't know if you remember, they started printing a comic series on this game.
Yes.
Like with the Imperfects and everything.
They planned on doing an animated series. They planned on
I didn't know
2
that.
sequels. They planned on what else? The comics. They thought it would be a huge hit, and all of it got pushed under the rug because
so weird.
There were, and this isn't confirmed, but there were talks of a movie/TV show. They really thought it was going to like change the industry because the game was just supposed to be that big. The game itself is clunky would be the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It is like unfair at times. The combat can go from like really fluid and fast to just slow, and like depending on the characters you play as, like some can pick up cars or different items. But it's so weird because it's fun.
It is fun.
It's so like stupid and broken, but it's still fun.
Yeah, there's something about the fighting because it's kind of like a big open arena fighting game kind of thing. So it's like you can go anywhere, you can interact with a lot of the environment, but it is like, you know, I don't know. You might like be picking something up and see an arm come through or something like that.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
It's glitchy. It's the enemies. You can get them stuck super easy and just like keep punching them on the ground and beat them. Like, or vice versa. They'll get you stuck in a lock.
Yeah.
So it's so unpredictable if the level's going to be easy or hard. And that's the other thing. Difficulty spikes all over the place.
True. Yeah.
You'll just get crazy challenges that are like, this doesn't make any sense. And then the next one's like, punch the guy once and you win.
Yeah.
Doink. So yeah, but the roster was super interesting. It was probably one of the biggest reasons why I like this game. Spider-Man, Thing, Wolverine, Daredevil, Venom, Iron Man, Magneto, Elektra, Storm, Human Torch. It's just like
Very
at
cool.
the time it was all the characters I was familiar with, but in a weird like amalgamation. Like they picked different characters.
Yeah.
So it was fun to play as all those. It also came out on the PSP, and Captain America
That's right.
was a PSP exclusive, and Doctor Doom, which is funny because Captain America, spoiler, this happens in the first 5 minutes of the game, is one of the first characters you see get killed. Well, you don't see him get killed. You see his shield, and it's like, dong.
Wonder how they dealt with that in the PSP version.
I assume he lived. Like he was.
Oh, he just like shows up.
Yeah, he's like, I wasn't dead.
He's just like a bad guy now.
Yes.
I wasn't dead. All right, why are you being weird?
Yeah, it's like, dude, relax. He doesn't have a shield, so he's
Oh
like
my
a little.
gosh, I
You
kicked
forgot there was a dog.
I kicked him in the face.
No,
I'm sorry, dude.
poor Paddington.
He seems okay. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Shh.
So this game is weird because it never re-released anywhere. Again, it bombed miserably. There's not a ton of content to it. You have the story mode, you have the versus mode, and there's a bunch of collectibles you can get. And there's some weird like alternative costumes, but you have to do some wacky stuff to unlock them. Granted, they are all like bikinis and swimsuits.
Really?
Which is very nice.
That's funny.
It's fun. But yeah, this game, it's hard. It's hard to recommend it because it is so jank, and unless you really like Marvel or have nostalgia for it, it's a little tough to like see past that jank. I would say it's a keeper solely based on how fun it can be with the jank, and because it's a weird, dark Marvel story that you
It is weird. It feels different than other like Marvel games.
Yes.
To me, it felt at the time like what I wanted the Avengers game to be, the
Yeah.
like most recent one we got, because it's not like it's open world, but there's an ongoing story. And
Yeah, which I will say the story is pretty weak.
Sure, yeah, but I love the anything that gets you to play as different characters throughout,
Yes.
especially in something like a Marvel game. Like you want to play as each character, you know. I love when that happens in like other fighting games, like in Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat does it the best with their stories. I
it's so
love
good.
it. Injustice was really fun too.
Yes, right. So that sort of layout of playing through a story, but you get to sample each character, I've always really loved. I remember it being super fun, and at the time, I don't think I was being overly critical because I hadn't really played anything like it. So I just had fun being the Marvel characters, and I thought it was cool being particularly in a game with all these characters you're familiar with, and then meeting a new set of characters.
Yes, because
in
the
that
Imperfects
context.
are pretty cool. Like the way they fight and stuff. I haven't read the comics yet, so I want
I
to.
wonder if it's what if it's good though? You're gonna be sad that like I'm already sad we were gonna get 2 sequels, but we didn't. Like I wonder if those would get better and better. You know,
The game ends in a way where we don't necessarily like it doesn't. We don't need a sequel.
Yeah.
So it works in that, and the comics I believe are a prequel to the game. So you read the comics,
okay.
then you play the game. But yeah, I know the thought of like there could have been more.
Yeah.
There was like they were working on it, and they were. I think they were trying to make it more of like a adventure type game.
Yeah.
So instead of it being like how they had it, you would explore different environments and it'd all be interconnected. So they were kind of changing it because that's what they wanted to do originally, but they didn't have time because they really wanted to push it out.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what made it fail is they just rushed it. If they gave it a little more time, because I believe their contract ended like a year after, so they were like, we don't want to spend the extra time because they wanted to they were trying to make a sequel so they could get 2 games out before the contract ended.
Yeah.
But Marvel was like, nope, you guys suck, so we're moving on.
Bummer.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad we at least got this one game. I would say it's a keeper, like I said, based on what I remember. I don't know, it's reminiscent of a certain time in gaming. So I do wonder if you're younger and didn't play games around then, if you just be like, what is this garbage?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a nostalgia to it.
Yeah, it's like a gas station hot dog. Like it's not good for you, and not everybody loves it. But if you're in the mood or if you're hungry,
Every now and then.
it might do it.
It might do the trick.
It might do the trick.
Yeah.
Well, continuing from hot dogs, this has nothing to do with what we're going into, but
Sad.
I have been on a tear
Okay.
of completing games on the Rare Replay collection.
Still. I'm not surprised, actually, because you told me this a while ago, and there are a lot of games. That collection
30 games.
is unbelievable.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So there's obviously you can just play all the games. So my initial goal when I started it up again was to play a game. I believe it's called what's it called? Demolition Core, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. It's an N64 game where you like blow up things with cars. Hardcore? No, I don't know. Anyways, my goal was to play that game. But instead, I started doing this mode called Snapshot. And what it does is it puts you in a game and gives you 5 different challenges to do in those games. And you get achievements and stuff based on it.
Wait, so any of the games on the Rare Replay?
It does up until, I believe, Battletoads. So it's only for the like older stuff. It doesn't do it for like the new N64.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's fun because it kind of teaches you how to play these games. Because a lot of them, if you just start them up, you have no idea what's going on.
Right.
And they're on like old consoles, like Amico or ColecoVision or things like that.
Yeah.
Just things that like I've never played before. So anyways, I was running through those snapshots and Killer Instinct Gold popped up. It did not have a snapshot challenge, but I was like, I'm in the mood for a fighting game. I'll give it a shot. I'll pop in. So I turned it on, and my experience with Killer Instinct is I played the Xbox One new version, the 2013 like remake, if you will.
Yeah.
And I really loved it.
I did too. I loved it.
It was the first game I played on my Xbox One when I got it for Christmas because it was free. You could download it.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
right.
could like buy the characters and stuff. And I loved it. I thought the combat was awesome. I thought the like the sound effects when you get a combo, like they really put in a lot of time.
Dude. And it felt really reminiscent because this is another area our age difference comes in. I remember playing Killer Instinct on the black cartridge for the SNES.
Yep.
And the remake just captured a lot of the magic from the original.
Yeah,
so.
it just seemed like they took the original game and like just or like, hey, we're gonna do it again, but for modern audiences.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I loved learning the combos. I loved all the characters. But I never played the older ones.
That's wild.
Up until that
so
point.
now you're going back.
Now I'm going back. So I have
Dangerous.
I know it is a little
can
bit
be
dangerous.
dangerous.
So I started with gold, which I didn't realize was actually just a like an updated version of 2 of Killer Instinct 2. So this came out on the N64, I believe, in 90. Oh, 90.
When did the N64 come out?
96.
This has got to be 97. I feel like this had to be an early title.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. What'd you say? 97.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said too. Maybe 98. Hold on.
I was gonna also say maybe 98.
It came out in. Oh, come on.
Although 99 was the best year of all time, so it could be 99.
Dude, it came out in 96. It was a launch title for the Nintendo 64.
I guess that makes a lot of sense though,
guess
because it was
so.
a huge game.
Yes, yeah, on Super Nintendo, it killed it.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
This game...
Combo breaker.
Combo breaker. This game actually failed, and that's why I didn't come back.
Sad.
But also, nobody bought the Nintendo 64, so... I mean, people did, but it was one of the Nintendo's worst performing consoles. Anyways, that's not here or there. So I started playing it. Dude, this game rules.
Yeah, you liked it?
It rocks.
Pretty
It's
good.
so fun. It's very much like the newer version. It's all about combos and breaking combos, and it's combo. It's combo the game. They should have called it Combo Instinct or Killer Combo, because it's legit. That's the whole game. Is like breaking combos, is getting into combos. Sure, you can just fight and do like goofy stuff like you do in any other fighting game. What's cool about this one is it's like a 3D environment.
Yeah.
So your characters are not only on like a plane like this, but you can like edge up and edge down and like move each other around.
It's like Fatal Fury, you could do that, right?
I believe so. Yeah, not like Soul Calibur where like you can press up and like move around in 360 degrees. You can just hit people into like different directions. But yeah, it's super fun. It's visually so like. This is awesome.
Yeah.
You have like more 2D sprites, but they're like really detailed, like
Yeah.
claymation almost.
I never really knew how to describe that animation, but it made it look. I guess it was similar to the early Mortal Kombats, except it wasn't live action actors,
Right.
But so anime. I don't know. I could never. It does feel extremely detailed, but it's still 2D.
Yep.
And
I've always equated it to claymation.
It's close, but it's not.
But it's not, because like Clay Fighters is claymation.
Yeah.
But like Donkey Kong Country, it's the same like sprite work in that.
Yeah.
And so they're 3D modeled, but they're made to look more cartoony, I guess is the way to
so
word
interesting.
it. Yeah, so visually it's awesome. Also, fun fact, the game was panned for looking like that. People didn't like how it looked visually back in the day. Yeah, because 2D sprites and just anything 2D, people did not like. PlayStation games, a lot suffered because it was the new generation. So they're not utilizing it properly. So
Nerds!
I know. That was a Destructoid review.
Ruining everything.
It's so stupid. So the game itself is really fun, and the gold version is the best version to play because it has, you got your story mode, your arcade mode, you have a survival mode, you have a team battle mode, you have training, you have...
Team battles are sick.
I love team battle because you can pick like 6, or this one you can pick like 8 characters.
So
and the
cool.
roster is huge. I mean, it's not crazy. It's like 10, 15 characters, something like that.
Loved how stylized it was.
Wicked
too.
cool.
Like
every character was so diverse and different, how they looked, how they fought. So I was going through the arcade mode, not too hard. There was one battle in particular, and I played it like 3 times, the arcade mode. Glacius sucks.
Oh, really?
He's a great character, but
fighting him. Yes.
is a
I remember
nightmare.
that. Yeah, he's the
'Cause
worst.
He just shoots his projectiles. He's really fast.
Yeah.
Sucks no matter what. Everybody else wasn't too bad. However, this game is evil. It's the devil. It's the worst.
what happened?
When you get to the final boss,
Yeah.
you fight this like gargoyle guy. I'm going to call him Balls because that's what he's like.
Okay.
He's balls.
Like balls.
He's like balls. So you fight him like any other. You know it's the final boss because you haven't seen him. You can't play as him. It's like this is the boss. Yeah. So he's a little tricky. He also can self-heal, which is insane.
Oh, come on.
So you could like beat him up, do a combo, launch him away, and if he's far enough, he'll just sit and heal himself.
No.
Such a nightmare. So on top of all that,
That's whack.
I'm beating the crap out of him. I die a bunch of times, and I finally get him to his like final little chunk of health bar, and I get this combo, and I'm like, bam, 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 dead. Or so I thought. He keeps fighting. And some games, when their health drops to 0, some bosses will do an extra hit or 2 after. I've seen it before. So I thought it was like the final boss, final hit, like, haha. And he keeps going. He keeps fighting me. And I'm like, your health is at 0. I keep punching him in the face, like knocking him out, and he's not dying.
Okay.
as it turns out, Rare, the little funny, cheeky jerks over there, thought it would be funny to make you have to do a combo into an uppercut to kill the boss. It's not told anywhere. You have no idea. So you have to not only, because there is just a straight up uppercut. You can just do an uppercut.
That doesn't do it.
That doesn't do it. You have to do a combo into an uppercut.
What?
The combo has to be at least 3 hits. And the character I was playing as, it's a 5-hit combo to get into the uppercut. It's not super hard to do, but if the boss is blocking or anything like that, which he blocks a lot, you can't get a combo in. So I fought this guy with no health. Dude, I almost threw my Xbox out a window. I was so mad because I thought it glitched. I was like, this guy has no health and I can't beat him. And I was so mad. I went to Google and I was like, how the heck do you beat this guy? And they're like, yeah, you just had to combo uppercut him. And I was like, oh.
Did you pause it or did you die? What happened?
I died. I lost that fight. And luckily, it only took me 3 more tries to get to where he had no health again.
Okay, that's good at least.
Yeah. But man, I've never seen it at a boss before.
I've never seen that.
Where you had to defeat him in a specific way.
And how would you know?
I don't know. I don't know how you know. Because the uppercut combo is not one I regularly did.
That's the worst, too, when, there are other games I've played like this where it's okay, there's no way you would know that, I don't know, these platforms are all temporary until you get to that point in the level.
Yep.
And that point in the level is 15 minutes in. So you learn that, you die, you start over.
Go all the way back.
It's like this. You don't know that there's a trick to it until you get there and you're like, why is he alive forever?
It's like he's dead.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, super rage-inducing.
This is an important tip.
Yeah, if you decide to play Killer Instinct Gold or Killer Instinct 2, it's the same thing, you will have to uppercut the final boss. Because there are stage finishers, so that's what you have to do is the stage you're on, you have to knock him into
I
the
do
abyss.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like that there's a specific way you have to defeat the boss. But it's if you don't know that.
You don't. Right, and back in the day, I don't know how the heck you'd figure it out. You had to call Nintendo and be like, I can't beat this boss. Or you just do it by accident and figure it out.
Yeah, if it's common enough.
Because that combo, everybody has it, and you could do a bunch of different combos that end in an uppercut.
Yeah.
So it is, I would say, relatively easy to do if you do it by accident.
Sure.
But when you get to the boss gets to 0 health and you start freaking out, you're like, is it broken?
Yeah.
Because if I played it back in the day, I'd shut off the system. I'd be like, it's broken. I can't beat him.
Yeah, right. And glitches were much more probable back then.
Yep.
Every now and then I'll have one. I had one when I was playing Control. I was fighting this massive group of enemies, and I was doing the best I'd done because I'd already died at this place a couple times. Everything froze. My Xbox shut down, took me to the home screen. I was like, what year is it?
Dude, when games crash nowadays, it happens way more, I think,
brutal.
now.
Yeah, I think so.
Crashing, at least.
Yeah. Not cool, bro.
But boy, Killer Instinct is awesome. There's also a ton of secrets. If you plug in a second controller, you can get certain levels of spawn, certain characters. There are, I believe, just one character to unlock. And then there's bonus stages and things like that you get after completing arcade mode.
That era of fighting games, there were so many weird peripherals. You had Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat as the main players, but then you get a Killer Instinct, you get Darkstalkers, you get Primal Rage was a big one. That's you're like, ooh, what's going to be different in this one? And it was just so fun. Clay Fighter.
Yeah, and people got really creative with both the sprites and the environments, how they mix 2D and 3D. And
I think because it's such a limited genre, okay, you need a cool roster. They're going to fight each other.
Yep.
And where are they going to be? What are the combos like? There's only so many things, but that made them get creative with it.
Yeah, because there's okay, how does ours stick out? How do we get the next Mortal Kombat or the next Street Fighter? That's what they were all striving for.
Ah, so cool.
Because you can see it in the DNA of Killer Instinct. There's definitely a lot of Mortal Kombat in there.
Yes, for sure.
From the combos, the uppercuts, the violence. There are some. It's not hyper violent in any way, but there's some pretty cool ultra combos you can do and stuff. So.
Then the fact that it was all different monsters.
Yes.
I played a Saber Wolf.
Saber Wolf. He's who I played as. He was awesome.
So
but yeah,
cool.
humans mixed with creatures, and it's a really good time.
Good stuff.
Keeper for sure. I haven't played it against people, so I had to see how it works in real
I'll
life.
fight you.
1v1 me, bro. But yeah, just be aware of that boss. He is not your friend.
Combo uppercut.
Yes.
What else?
I think that's all I got.
Did we do it?
I think we survived.
We made another episode of the Keep Up Podcast.
Yo, the Tim special, because Brett talked about nothing.
Listen, this was a 2-man job.
It's true. You talked about your shirt.
Talked about my shirt. Ooh, good sips. So, hey, listen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It's exciting to be back. If you want to, you can find us on all the socials at the Keep Up Podcast all over the place. You can find us on YouTube. And Tim, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and your other work?
You guys can find me at Sonic Music.
And we're back.
You can also find me at Collection Revolution all over the place. That's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's Threads, that's Blue Sky, that's YouTube, all over the place. Just type in Collection Revolution, and guess what? My nipples will show up.
Now they're all going to go rushing.
That's how you feet and nipples, right? That's what the world likes. But yeah, find me in all those places. Brett, where can everyone find you and your extra long armpit hair?
Feels good to be back, Tim. I don't know. I haven't been doing a lot lately.
Nice. What is that?
I don't know. Yeah, you can find me at, I guess I would say still go to my Instagram at This Drink I Like It. That's
You're really selling them.
My personal Instagram. I've been off socials a lot, and I've been creating a lot and building a lot of stuff.
Are you still on your social media break? Or
yeah, kind of. So I was fully off for October, like just off all socials, and I don't know why. Like 2 days ago, I was like, I'll jump on, and it was like, it's election season. So I was like,
dude, you picked the worst
I
time
gotta
to come
back off. I gotta get off. I'm sorry.
You fool.
Yeah, so kind of, it's just more limited. I'm just being cautious with it. It's not the healthiest place for me to be. But in the time off, I've been doing a lot of like writing and stuff for the Keep Up, and I do have other stuff going on. So anyways, kind of, I guess. I feel like it went from a break to like, now I'm learning my limitations.
Yeah.
There's still no need for me to be on as much as I used to be.
That's the joy of a break is you can, it's like cold turkey,
Yeah.
but then you can get used to like not being on it nearly as much.
Right, yeah, and I think that helps. It's just the moderation thing. So I'm really excited to be getting back on to doing the Keep Up stuff regularly and probably be more active on our socials. But yeah, you can find me at This Drink I Like It on Instagram. It's my personal Instagram. I do have some stuff coming up with a couple of bands that I play in. I did put out 2 new music videos this year. If you haven't checked them out yet, there's a link tree in my personal IG that will get you to all my music pages.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I'll always post on there about other creative stuff I have coming up. But if you're not following us, that would be my big request. Find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram, hang out with us. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Tim is going to do what's called End Babble, where he talks nonsense for about a minute and a half, and then we're going to get out of here. Tim, your theme is spaghetti in a bag with a hole in it. I'll see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.
Okay. The Ziploc bag, brought to you by Ziploc. You can put many things in there. You can put in some soup, or an old sandwich, or your son's lost puppy. But make sure you cut a hole in it because you don't want the puppy to not have air. But today's program is telling you about spaghetti. And when you put it in a bag, instead of opening the bag and removing it with your fist, you reach in and grab the spaghetti and mouth it. No, today we bring you the idea of cutting a hole right in the corner. So then you can twist it up, and insert the bag of spaghetti into your mouth, where the hole is, of course, and slurp out the noodles. And put your tongue in there and feel the noodles. Feel the pasta as you eat it from the hole of the Ziplocking bag. So keep your pasta and your spaghetti safe in our new Ziploc bag with a hole. And so I'll leave you with this. Spaghetti you should put in a hard container. I think putting it in a bag is just like not the way to do it, because how do you pull it out? You can't. So put it in a Tupperware or some kind of bin. Don't waste plastic. Save the spaghetti. Thank you.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Very cool. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to the Keep Up podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also find us at patreon.com/thekeepup, where you can support us monthly for as little as $1 per month, and you can get yourself some cool Keep Up merch in our Etsy shop. Links are down below.
Ready to get started?
On what?
We're doing the bumpers, aren't we?
Yes, we're doing the bumpers. Do you have, you got the remote?
Of course.
Just hit record and we're ready to go.
All right.